Hey everybody, welcome back to Landshark's Garage. Me and Mrs. Landshark hanging out today. Gonna start working on the rocker panels on the passenger side of the 77. Gonna have to take all this patch that was put in here before out. See, it's got a little rot right there. Follow along as we do that. Fat guy tip: get all your tools you think you're probably gonna need before you get down on your knees to start doing work. Finding patch panels for this back door is difficult. We've got some different things we're going to try here to see. Luckily we don't have to do a lot of work in here, but this spot in here, the patch panels for the back doors only go to here, but the front door is very similar to that, so we might have to put a piece in there. Just got to see what we're dealing with when we get in there. Drill out some spot welds. We got that cut off. Do some cleaning now and get to patching. We're still grinding away at it. Damage just keeps getting deeper and deeper. So I'll keep plugging away. We're working on this front section right now, trying to get everything to line up there before I move to the back. The back door, it's hard to get patch panels for that, so I'm trying to use front ones for the back ones to see if that'll get me where I need to be as far as where the rocker goes across. The rest of it, I like this hole in the corner. I'll probably have to make something to take care of that. That's the last repair. They just put it right over the top of the rusted part. It's kind of the same way here. They just kind of mudded this hole in as it was rotted out, so I do have a cab corner for it. I'd like to say I'm doing the easy side, so you know that. The other side is going to be far more work. This patch panel is a front door panel. I had one that was made for the crew cab, but it's just got real short foot pads in here, and then the rocker. So I've cut in half, and I'll be piecing it together to fit for that back door. There's nothing that has this bend in it. I'm hoping I can use part of the front one for that. If not, I'll have to do my metal bumping skills and put it to the test. I started cutting and getting this piece so she matches up pretty good. Be able to weld that in here. This stitched the way I want it to. Just got to work on this front portion up here, and we'll be able to get this rocker put on, and then we'll be able to switch over to that back one. That one's going to go about right there. And looks of it. We'll start working on the front end. Ground a lot of this off. Like I said, this is all going to have peel and seal and carpet over the top of it, so I'm not real concerned with spending a lot of time dressing that. I'm just going to knock down the high points and get the peel and seal put on it, get the carpet put in. So what I did is went ahead and put down some self-etching primer. That way when I do start welding this back in, I can just clean off where I need to do my spot welds, and that other primer will just stay there. After I cleaned all the rust and the surface rust and stuff off of it, it's just a step to try and help preserve that. I realize I'll probably start grinding taking grinding some of that off of there, but as long as I got a good thick coat on there to start with, I'll feel a little more comfortable once I start welding everything in. This piece is fairly close to going in. I'm pretty confident that we'll get that in here shortly, and then I ended up having to cut more out of that rocker, so I'm going to have to build a piece for that, and then I'll tackle this back spot and that cab corner that they mudded through, and see if we can get this side all knocked out, put the doors back on it so that we can switch around the other side and try and get that going and done, or close enough that we can get it out of here and start working on the winter daily driver that needs an engine. I'll pull that toggle in and work on it here shortly. We got this piece cut and ready, almost ready to go in. I do got to do some fine trimming here. I went ahead and drilled some holes along the bottom for the plug weld, and then I'll just grind off the primer that's on there. Once I get this the way I want it, we'll go ahead and pack that all in, and that part should be pretty well taken care of, and we can start working on the back piece back here. Just fine-tuning these is kind of a pain in the butt. I had to take a moment and watch Mortski's repair on YouTube this morning because I knew he had a little bonfire in his shop. End up having to cut a piece to put on that end. All cutting and grinding, trying to fit everything. It caught up a little short. So what I went ahead and did was just weld it on a piece right there so that I have something to back it up when I weld the other two pieces together. That should give me the adjustment I need to get the rest of the welds to be right. Starting to warm up a little bit in Landshark Garage. Yeah, compliments of Jake. Them darn flies. You know, he can't get the cricket that's making all the damn noise in here, but poor old flies, he's all over them. The rocker panel all welded in. I'm grinding now. A good welder once said, if you're not a good welder, be a good grinder. And I fall into that last category, especially with sheet metal. Sheet metal is so tough to weld. You have to have your temperatures just right. And then with this old rusty crap, you end up blowing holes through it anyway, no matter how low your power is. So you just kind of stitch along. So I'm grinding, re-welding spots, make sure I don't have any holes, and I'm going to prime all this. Once again, thanks for subscribing and following along on our journey. We appreciate it. Congratulations to Mickelson Racing Channel. He finally hit 1,000. That's awesome. Stuff with Cletus, another one of the channels that I like to follow, is he just hit 1,000. So all these little channels are starting to do real good. I mean, there's a lot of people that watch YouTube that I was surprised to find out that that's the main thing they watch, is YouTube, and we appreciate that. Do a little more grinding here, shoot some primer on that, move on to the next part back here. This little Milwaukee works great for this. Caught one in the arm, or in the hand here when I was welding, and it's telling me all about it. Put a blanket on the floor so I don't catch my shop on fire, but I don't do anything with my hands. People have commented on me working in shorts and welding and stuff, but I've always done that. The sparks and stuff don't bother me, but Once in a while you get one in a bad spot. Fat guys have a hard enough time staying cool at 90 degrees. Having a welding coat and stuff on. I'd probably be laying here on the floor waiting for an ambulance to get here. So. One thing I didn't show you guys is this is just a piece of copper pipe that I bang flat, and I use it when I gotta fill in. Like behind here, there was a little gap behind here, and you can kind of use that to bridge that gap. This little hammer is something that I have on my welder when I'm working with sheet metal, because you're constantly pushing and pulling and trying to get everything straight, and this one's real handy to grab a hold of and uses the lever. So some of the tools that I keep on my tool cart, got thickness gauge, gloves that I never wear. I actually cheat and write down right on top of my welder what works the best with good sheet metal. And give her some primer. Move on to the next step over here. Still pushing 90. This helps. Finished up that front rocker. Put the primer on it just because there's bare metal there and I don't know when I'll get back to it. It also does a good job of bringing out your crappy grinding project, or your crappy grinds, so I can go back over and hit that before we get to the point where we start putting something useful on it. So it's worth a can of primer just to not have to grind on rust when it sets in, if it sits outside or something like that. I'm gonna tackle this project in the back here. Got a big hoodinkus there, got to get rid of. Cut a small part of the rocker out of there, fix this gobbledygook crap that someone just slung mud into. Parts for that there. The whole part's resting for a while. I'm gonna finish this. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks for following. We'll see you next time. Never forget, drive your shit.